what's going on, everybody? I'm the Timmeister, and welcome back to Dunswell in episode 16. I just realized after uploading last episode that I didn't even include any cinematic shots of what was built in the last episode. Kind of ridiculous, honestly. But I mean, that episode was pretty long, and by the end of it, I was just getting pretty tired, and I guess I just forgot to include the cinematics. So here they are. This is proper cinematics of the interchange system that was built last episode. I still really love it. It seems to be functioning really well, and we're gonna put it further to the test in this episode because we're finally going to get into some oil production over on the industrial island. So over where the oil sands are, this will be a massive oil refinery complex and an oil extraction site. So we'll get into that. Also, I want to mention that I've been getting a lot of comments lately about people wondering where the South Africa series is and Timbuktu. I just want you guys to rest assured that those series are not going anywhere. At the moment, I'm kind of taking a little break from all the mods and all the assets and the dreaded 10 FPS when you're zoomed out. And I just kind of want to play the game in its vanilla form, or as close to vanilla as I can possibly get it, to where it's, still fun. But I'm just taking a little break. Those series are going to come up again. And I have done a little bit of work actually on South Africa. I just have to put that footage together and make an episode out of it. So I don't know, maybe in another couple of weeks I'll upload a video whenever I feel like it. But for now, I'm just having so much fun with Dunswell. I'd just like to keep going through episodes for the next little while. So anyways, without further ado, let's jump into the live play and start to build the oil refinery. Alright guys, here we go in the live play. We're going to start to build the refinery, but there's one thing I just noticed while starting this episode is I totally forgot to run a rail line out over here. So earlier I said that I wanted to run this rail line to the right, which would service the oil refinery, and then it would split off to the left as well because I'm going to have a giant port over here. And if I check my ship menu, after reaching 40,000 people, I unlock the cargo hub. So I think by placing one of these down, it's going to help a little bit with the traffic going through town. It doesn't seem to be too bad right now. I think a lot of the trucks are going via the highway out of town now, but we'll see how that will improve the traffic situation. So yeah, I guess for the first part of this episode, I'm going to have to figure out how to run the rail line off to the other side of this highway, but I think it shouldn't be too much of a big task. And I've just briefly thought this through. I think what I'm going to do is convert like these three segments into elevated sections and then just run a sunken rail line under them. I could easily do it like over here too, but sometimes when you transition from elevated sections to like ground, it does some weird things with the slopes, which I don't really like. So I think just because of like this whole section is on flat ground and like this bridge here, it really won't affect anything. I think this would be the most suitable place for it. And then I can maybe just like make a bridge along this road too. So let's get started on that and try to figure out how this is going to take place. So first, what I want to do is get some trees out of the way. Just to make this a little easier on us. I'm going to get rid of all of these and I guess that. And then we'll just plant them in a little while. All right, so I'm going to go into my terrain tools. Actually, first, let me do this. I'm going to my 2-lane sections. Change these sections into elevated. Yeah, something like that, I think. And then, yeah, I can just run the rail line right under here. That should probably do it. Now, if I go into my terrain menus, I'm going to lower my strength and brush size. Yeah, that should be okay. And I'm just going to lower this. Oh man, I think that might even be a little too deep. Let's try flattening out. Oh, that might not be deep enough. Let's try that again. I'm gonna lower the brush strength again. I think that's enough clearance, guys. Let's try it out. Just a little lower. The wires aren't quite clearing the bridge. I'm just gonna... Oh, that might be a little too much, but it seems like to go back up... Oh, shoot. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. Undo. There, I think that should be okay. So I'm gonna lower all of this up to like here, and I'll figure out how to do the slope after that, and then why don't I just lower all of this? And then lower under here, and then we'll just connect this all up. Now, if I go from this elevation down to here, is the straight slope going to work? Oh yeah, look at that. Perfect. Literally could not have been better than that. And now it's just a beeline right under the bridge. And I can simply convert this section of road into a bridge. Actually, I wonder what the, oh. Well, that's kind of cool. There, and our rail line will go under all of these bridges. Look at that, guys. That is magnificent. So now, from this point, I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna... Well, actually, I should watch out. Let's plan this out. So at this point, the rail line is pretty much where it needs to be. For now, I'm just going to concentrate on the section going towards the refinery, and then I'll deal with the section of rail going towards the port in a later episode. So now for the refinery, which is probably going to go into next episode as well, because, you know, normally you have to upgrade your refineries and all that. Oh yeah, shoot. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to install, or I forgot to enable unlimited resources. I'm gonna have to quit the game and do that. But this is weird. It looks like we have a little less oil sands than I thought. Because just by looking at this dirt here, it looks like it's super dense. And then when I go into my factories, there's like one or two really dense spots. So this is probably where we're gonna want our extractor buildings. And then it doesn't really matter where the refinery is. I think it would look cool by the water over here, personally. We'll try to figure that out as we go along. So first of all, here, let's just get our zonage down. So the refinery is gonna be like all of this. Oops. And then we'll do this, the Dunswell oil refinery. And what's the first building that we need to place down? Just an oil main building. Okay. Man, this is gonna be so challenging, especially like, wait, when I go into my ore industry, like you can't really build anything on this mountain. I might have to do some terraforming and shorten this mountain a bit just to be able to do that. All right, so I'm gonna want to make my main building along a main road, but let's see here how I can extend everything to get connected up. So like all this entire section is elevated. I can probably okay, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna bring a main road out this way. With all the pillars and stuff in the way, this might be a little challenging. Maybe not. No, it wasn't too bad. Oh, shoot. Yeah, it was pretty bad. Just fits. Can I use anarchy, guys? Will you allow that? Here, I'm gonna try to not use it. Oh! Yeah, that's pretty good. And there doesn't seem to be any oil production over here, so this is a great place for the main building because it won't take up any of the oil sands land. Oh crap, I placed the wrong building. I am an idiot, guys. Alright, let's fix that. Boom. So what do we have? A small oil pump, oil sludge pyrolysis plant, and a crude oil tank. So let's see here. We have some small oil pumps. So from this point on, oh yeah, we need to provide some power too. But you know what? In an oil refinery, oh wait, oh, do we have a nuclear power plant already? When did we unlock this? I don't know. How much does this cost? It costs 200,000. That's not a problem. 8,000 a week. We can afford it. We're making about 10,000 a week. I'm gonna place this down. Oh no, I don't want to do that. I was actually planning on making an episode on making like a really cool, on making like an industrial or a nuclear power plant station, like maybe way over here, like featuring an entire episode on just this one thing. We are running a bit low on power. This would be a good time to make this. But I think for now, I'm just gonna go ahead and place another solar updraft tower. Maybe beside the one that we already have. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Just as a temporary measure, and it won't affect our income that much. So I'm gonna place that right here. And they kind of look cool too. I like these. They look like big smokestacks, but they're not. And then I'm gonna have to run some power lines from the industrial area all the way to the oil power plant. Oh geez, are the power lines gonna fit under here? No, I highly doubt it. Oh, all right, well they do here. All right, well that works. That's okay with me. All right, so I guess the next step is just to start laying down some small oil pumps and a pyrolysis plant. What does that do? Oil sludge pyrolysis takes oil and processes it into petroleum. Okay, so why don't we... Let's get our road infrastructure down first. All right, because on the other end of the oil sands will be the refinery, and there's probably a lot of traffic that's going to be coming and going from that place. So I'm going to want to have the traffic infrastructure to support that. And I think the nuclear power plant would look cool way on the edge of the island here. Have that going out to here, then we'll deal with that later. And the highway, how is the highway going to connect up? Do I just like boom, do I just go like straight in? I probably could. I'm thinking that might be the best bet. I'm gonna do that for now. Oh yeah, that's right, it's 4 lanes. I'm surprised that even worked. 4-lane road is pretty thick. Yeah, well, that actually looks not too bad. It doesn't impede too much on the oil sand. You can see that it was kind of thin here. If I check the density of it, it's not too bad. It shouldn't really get in the way. But this is most likely going to be temporary. We'll see how this whole highway section does. If it gets too crowded, if it starts to really fail, I might have to replace this with a sort of roundabout. That's probably going to be an option at some point. Maybe I should just do that now, actually, now that I'm thinking of it. Here, let's see, because we have some pretty large roundabouts. Something about that size would probably work. Let's try it. I think it can't hurt. It's going to be beneficial no matter what. So get rid of these trees. Let's go ahead and place this right about there. That looks good. And then I want to convert this into an industrial one-way just because it's an industrial park. Going counterclockwise, good. Oh yeah, and I know what I'm going to do here. Instead of having... Oh, wait. No, this should be highway, actually. This will work a lot better if this is 3 lanes wide. And then if I change this into 3 lanes here as well, and then we'll have kind of a little shortcut going on to the main road. And then here I'm not going to make any fancy entrances and exits. I'm just going to plow it right in. Oh my god, that... Oh, geez, what happened there? What the heck is going on? Oh my god, I'm just making it worse. Alright then, well, I'll just have to fix that afterwards, I guess. I just wanted to connect this up like that. The roundabout was all lopsided anyway. I can just fix it with move it afterwards. And then I'm going to connect this up like so. And I might just make another connection here later on. Well, I'll be honest, this isn't the prettiest interchange I've ever built. But if it works, then that's really all I need. Now, I'm gonna have to use TMPE here real quick. Remove traffic lights. Oh, they're already off there. I'll remove these ones. And then I'll just make sure that cars are not gonna do some weird things here. City Skylines logic isn't always, it's not always the best. There, and then I'll just make sure that this lane merges over. There, and that should do it. It looks like a happy face kind of thing, right? Like with the arms up in the air. It's ugly, but as long as it works. What do you guys think? It's not my proudest work, but hey. All right, so now let's start laying down some pumps. So I'm gonna lay down some dirt roads, just kind of sprawling out a little everywhere. I'm thinking we can start off with something like that. That actually looks kind of cool. This nice little road layout. Just like that, and then... Ooh, yeah. Okay. Before powering these on, I should enable unlimited resources, because this is just going to drain this entire thing super quick. And another thing, too, is I don't think placing these down in, like, a super dense fashion is a good idea either. You know, should be a little bit more conservative with placing down these pumps. I'll start off with just a few for now. This is probably enough for the time being, I'm guessing. Maybe just a couple more, because what did these output anyway? Electricity. Oh yeah, production rate 4,800 units per week. Freight truck count 5. And then if I check what the pyrolysis plant can do, production rate 4,000 units per week. So, okay, with what I have so far, it's probably more than enough. But we're going to want to place down some oil tanks as well to store the oil, because we're going to be producing more than we're using up, for the time being anyway. And just for now, I'm going to place these down here. Designing these sort of oil refineries and whatever other type of industry is actually kind of challenging when you have to unlock everything in a sequence. You just don't have everything available to you, so you kind of have to watch out where, you know, you place things, and you have to rearrange things sometimes after they've been built. But that's okay. We have a lot of land here to play around with, so I'm not afraid to reconfigure a couple of things here and there. Okay, so let's run some water pipes out this way. I guess I'll just steal some pipage off of this line going out of town. Something like that should work. So, okay, I'm gonna exit the game real quick. I'll be back like instantly because of editing magic. And then I'm just gonna enable unlimited resources, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, I am back, and we now have unlimited resources. So let's get this thing fired up. Of course, I'm gonna have to bring some power over to the pumping area. I'll just run some temporary power lines over here for now. This may not look the nicest at the moment, but as this area develops, you know, we can spend a little bit of time detailing and beautifying it, because I want this place to look cool. I'm probably gonna steal a few other buildings that are unrelated to the oil refinery and add them to the refinery just for looks, but I also want it to be functional too, so we'll see what we can do, create something that looks nice. Alright, so our building is now operational. Trucks should begin spawning from these pumps very shortly, or begin spawning from somewhere else and making their way to the pumps. So let's check at what needs to get done in order to get to level 2. So we need to produce 500 units of oil and have 150 workers. until reaching level 2. So do we have any other buildings that we can place down now? I think the barracks is just unlocked a bit later. We can probably use a sludge pyrolysis plant right off the... Oh my god, this is tiny. I was expecting this to be a big building. But yeah, let's plant one of these down, and that'll give us a couple more workers. Place it right here where the density of oil is pretty low. There, and that'll give us the additional workers we need, I think. Right, 105 employees, maybe a couple more pumps, because each pump had like, yeah, look at that, almost, you know, 15 or so, give or take, workers. So a couple more pumps. Oh, I think I spread them out a little too far. I'll just get rid of this one for now. So this one doesn't have power. Alright, so we should be getting to level 2 very shortly. Okay, so we have enough employees, just enough. And then we're producing oil at a pretty decent rate, so I'm satisfied with that. Oh my god, this storage tank is almost full. Here, let's just fill it for now. And I'm thinking this plant is going to be massive, guys. Like, I want this whole area to be totally dedicated to the oil refinery. I'm thinking the refinery might end up here, but I don't know if space is going to be too tight. We'll see, because I still have to run the rail over here, too. That might be a bit of a challenge. Might have to build a refinery over here instead. And look at that, we're almost level 2 already. Vehicles are already making use of the interchange, or at least in this section. One thing too, while we're waiting to get to level 2, I'm gonna have to create a bigger bus. Whoa, 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 whoa. All right, this is not good. We're suffering a death wave. All right, this changes the course of this episode just a bit. I was not expecting to deal with a death wave this episode, but it seems like the case. Oh my god, this is not good. Look at all the abandonment. Oh my god. This is not good. This is not good. Can historical buildings become abandoned? I'm hoping not. I'm hoping not. All right, now let's assess the situation. What's going on here? Death care. Crematorium availability is kind of low, and our cemetery usage is maxed out. Not an ideal situation. That's totally my fault for not keeping up with the with how things were going. All right, so let's start by planting down a few more cemeteries around town. I feel like we have a lot already, but I guess we could use a bit more. So we'll have one over on this side of town. We'll have to sacrifice a few lots over here to make way for another cemetery. Oh yeah, this right here is not too bad. Is there anywhere else? I mean, I already have a ton of them. I'll just have to go crazy with the crematoriums then. This is one aspect of the game that's not really that balanced. This could have been reworked. Because I mean, you need an unrealistic amount of crematoriums, in my opinion. Like it's a bit absurd. All right, so we'll place one here. Place one by this cemetery. I guess we'll just kind of place one in every corner of town. At this point, it's kind of an emergency, so the more, the better. Here, I just have to, like, there. I'm gonna stop being too careful. All right, so I'll place one right here. Oh, I placed one there. Here, I'm just gonna hit play because, you know, we'll have to deal with this. Oh, look at that, boom. Level 2. Let's see. Oh, I can't move this out of the way. Oh, yes, I can. I can move this. All right, so oil refinery has reached level 2. Area bonuses, efficiency plus 4%, pollution minus 10. That's good. So we unlocked a bunch of buildings. Small oil drilling rig. I think this has more capacity or more output. We have some barracks now. Storage cavern. Okay. That's all interesting. Unfortunately, at the moment, we have a little bit of a crisis to deal with. Oh, boy. All right, well, I think we just have to let this play out. I don't know if there's anything we can do about this, except just wait it out. I can't believe every cemetery is full. That's crazy. So cemetery usage, 25%. Crematorium availability, we're way good on that. I mean, I know the crematorium availability was low as a result of a death wave. You know, that's like you just have a ton of people dying. I just didn't have enough to deal with this scale of a death wave. But I mean, this is, I guess I kind of had to expect this because this entire area just developed super quick. But, oh man, this is going to be a lot of abandonment. I hope it doesn't ruin the beautiful skyline that we had going on. Anyways, I guess the only thing we can do for now is go back into the industrial zone, work on that, and then let the death wave play out. It looks like it's pretty much over at this point. Might still be going on in downtown a little bit, but right now it's just a wave of abandonment that we're seeing. Hopefully residential demand goes back up and then those buildings can be repurposed. But that was an event. It went a little better than I thought it would. All right, so anyway, let's continue on. We'll just try to keep an eye on things a little bit more. Okay, so we have a workers' barracks. What does this do? It increases work efficiency of the workers in the industrial area. Each building increases the work efficiency by 5% to a maximum of 100%. Wow. Okay, so we can just place down a ton of these, I'm guessing. Okay. So we'll place down a barracks kind of in the beginning of the industrial area. And then, what else do we have? I think oh no, that was the early building. Petrochemical plant. Now this converts oil into plastics. Now this building is really important because plastics are an important ingredient in a lot of products that are made in a lot of the factories. So a petrochemical plant. For now, I'm just gonna place this down here. But everything you're seeing right now is more or less temporary just because I don't have everything unlocked. Crude oil storage containers. So let's maybe place a couple down here and then maybe some more storage tanks as well. And I suppose we could place down a couple more extractor buildings. But before that, let's lay down some more roads. It is kind of bothering me in a way that, you know, everything you're seeing right now is probably going to be redone. But I think that's just the nature of these kinds of industrial areas, especially when you want to bring aesthetics into it. So hopefully you guys don't mind that there's going to be a lot of rejigging of this area. And then I'll just place down a filler pump between these two buildings to connect everything back up. And there we have it. All right, so what is needed to get to level 3? Industrial area info. Oh, look at that. We're almost like 2/3 of the way there. So we have enough workers. Oh, no, we don't. We have just a few more workers. But we almost have the resources produced in order to get there. So maybe just let's place down a couple more buildings. Or I saw that the employees were going up. We might be okay. Yeah, we're okay. So we'll just have to cruise our way up to level 3. Boom! There we have it, guys. Look at that. We unlocked a toy factory, oil industry storage, and large pumps, which is basically just 4 small pumps on 1 square. Oh, I thought we were going to unlock some more interesting buildings than that. What else do we have? We have like some large storage tanks. Really, it's the oil naphtha cracker. Or no, wait. Oh, I think it's a factory. It's one of the last factories, I think. Petroleum refinery. This is what we want. So what do we need for that? Have a level 4 industry. Okay, well that's not too bad. We're already at level 3. And everything here is unlocked at level 4. Level 5 for the naphtha cracker. And level 4 for almost everything else. An offshore drilling platform would be really cool. What do we need for level 4? Let's check that out. Level 4, we need 4,500 units and 550 employees. So basically, we're just scaling up during this whole operation. So all that matters is the amount of employees and the amount of crude oil that we're producing. So that's not really too much of a big ask, as long as we just place down some new buildings and yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. Place down some new buildings to increase the employees and the output, and we're flying. So let's try out one of the larger pumps here. What does this produce anyway? 8,000 units per week. So this should be interesting. And now that we have unlimited resources, really the density doesn't really matter of these pumps. I can just go crazy and lay these down wherever. So the oil industry is pretty easy. It doesn't take much thought. Oh, actually, you know what? This reminds me of one thing. I just want to address one thing that I've been hearing a lot about, is how inefficient my fishing routes are. I'm gonna reconfigure this in a little bit. All right, so I've gotten a lot of comments saying that these routes are highly inefficient and that the boats will be filled up like long before getting to through the loop. I haven't looked at any of that yet. I have read all of your comments, guys, and I will take that into consideration. But I'm going to feature an entire episode on reconfiguring this whole thing. Maybe once we have this square unlocked and I have a bit more room to play with, then we can maybe move some of these harbor buildings over, a bit farther up the coast in order to make it more efficient. Or, we could have another port over here that, collects tuna, and then maybe this port can be just for what's available close to it. But I just want to let you guys know that I am aware of this not being very optimal, and I will get to it eventually. Back over into the oil fields. Let's check out what's happening. And Oh, look at that. Efficiency plus 19 because we're at level 3, and then pollution is minus 20%. So that's good. We're still not making much profit. I mean, we're not making any profit at all, really. But I'm not too concerned. Our weekly income is more than capable of balancing that out. But yeah, at this point, it's just a race to level 5, really. I can't believe I was able to do this in one episode. That's not bad at all. Oh, look at that. Boom, we have profit now. I think it was just because I placed down a few buildings. So we still need about 100 more employees, 100 and some. It looks like it's hovering about where it's at now. It's not going up very much, so I'm going to place down a couple more buildings. Get some more workers in here. Wait, why does this produce 12? Oh, that's the cost. My bad. All right, well, things are looking good so far. Oh, shoot, yeah, these buildings need power. So let's run some power here and here. Man, I don't know why, but I remembered oil production being like way more complicated than this. It's really not. The challenge actually is going to be once we have to involve factories, because a lot of the higher end factories require plastics and petroleum and those kind of things. So balancing that out is probably going to be the challenge. And that reminds me as well, Industrial Island is looking a little full at the moment. I'm gonna have to figure out how I'm gonna cram a lot of these factories. Probably the more high polluting factories will end up on the island. I was gonna like make more farms here, but I don't know if that's really necessary. I might have to place down some factories here. I don't know. Maybe I can fit a factory here, or if I have to like destroy some of this generic industry and then relocate it out of town or something, I can place down some factories on the island. But like I said, I'd rather... This building needs water. I'd rather have all the high polluting buildings on the island. For no particular reason other than, you know, just having all the industries in one location. Look at that, we're already level 4, guys. I'm sure level 5 is not going to be out of reach at this episode either. So as we're getting towards the end of this episode, I suppose, maybe it'll be worth looking into what's going to happen next episode. But let's see here. We're going to get to level 4, and we'll talk about that in just a second. It's probably going to be related to the industry. All right, so we have a waste oil refining plant. I don't remember this building. This is new, or, well, it probably isn't, but anyway. A large oil drilling rig. We have oil industry maintenance building. This probably improves efficiency. Large crude oil tanks and the petroleum refinery. Nice. And our bonuses are plus 23% efficiency and pollution negative 30. Look at that. So until level 5, same thing. We just have to get to 13.5 units. And 800 employees, so I'm sure that's not too much of a big ask. Let's get to level 5 this episode, guys. I didn't anticipate getting to level 5 in one episode, but we're pretty much already there. Let's just go ahead and place down the maintenance building. Let's just have it in the administrative area at the beginning of the zone. Do we need another barracks? I'm not sure, but I guess another one wouldn't hurt. All right, so we have the petrochemical plant already and the pyrolysis plant. Let's have a waste oil refinery plant. Man, these buildings are so tiny. I don't know why, but I remembered everything just being massive before. I know the refinery itself, like the refinery, like factory is quite massive. here? Let's maybe have a couple of large storage buildings. And, oh, what are these complaining about? Not enough buyers for products. All right, so that's probably because we don't have any factories at the moment. We'll have to arrange that. Maybe next episode we can do that. Maybe I won't place the refinery this episode, because once we have everything unlocked, I'm gonna stop there. And then next episode, if everything pans out, because things change pretty quick in this game, you know, we don't know what emergency we're gonna have to deal with. But so far, next episode, we'll get to rearranging this entire system here and making something that looks cool. We also have to connect the rail line up to the rest of the system. So last, I'm gonna place down a storage building, an oil storage. Same thing over here. Do I have this crude oil? Yeah, I have a couple of those. And at this point, we're probably pretty close to 800 workers already. 713, and we're just about halfway. I'm not gonna make you guys watch till like 13,500. Maybe let's just place a few more extractor buildings. I don't think I placed any of these large oil drilling rigs. I'm running out of room where I can place things though. Guess it doesn't really matter, because we have like unlimited oil density. Because if you remember back in Argamel, I didn't have unlimited resources on, and the resources were just getting sucked right out of the ground. Like within one episode, this like an oil field, an equivalent size of this was just drained in one episode. It was pretty crazy. So I think it kind of ruins it in that aspect. It's much more realistic to have it on unlimited resources, really. So, okay, so we're good for employees. So I guess that's going to be it for now, guys. I'm just going to skip ahead till 13,500. We'll see what we can place down, and then that'll be it for this episode. I think I actually placed a little too many buildings. All right, guys, well, here we are. We reached level 5 in our oil refinery area in one episode. I'm actually really surprised. So we finally got the offshore drilling platform. I'm really excited about that. The naphtha cracker and a sneaker factory. So all really awesome buildings. Pollution is down 40% in the area, and the efficiency is raised up to 33%. So that is all good news. And it looks like we had a little bit of an event go on here, and this is really not the best thing to happen near some oil production buildings. This could have turned out really bad. I think I'm gonna call it at this episode, guys. I don't want to place down the rest of the buildings just because we have everything available. We have everything that we need now, and we have lots of great factories that we can place down. So I'm gonna call it for this episode. Next episode, I'd like to continue in this area and reconfigure this entire thing to make it look really cool and maybe more efficient as well. Although it seems to be working pretty nicely. It doesn't be there doesn't seem to be any bottlenecking and stuff going on anywhere, so I think that's all right. So anyways, guys, this was another pretty long episode. These episodes are getting pretty long. I might try to cut things up a little bit more, make more short episodes maybe. I don't know. Let me know down in the comments. I've been kind of curious lately what you think about the length of these episodes too. So guys, I just want to thank you again so much for watching. This was a ton of fun. This was another great episode. So yeah, leave a comment what you think about this oil refinery. Leave me some suggestions on what I should do. Maybe if you know of somebody who's made some other really cool refineries that I can maybe take some inspiration from, let me know down in the comments. Leave a like of this video if you enjoyed it, and also consider subscribing to the channel if you're interested in any other of my videos. So guys, until the next episode, take care.